changes a few of the settings. Why don't you handle the introductions?
Well, down in the lower left position, we have the blue Zerg player spawning on Cloud Kingdom. It's Lindzo. And his opponent up in the top right, the red Protoss player, Highgain.
Yep, Highgain versus Lindzo, that's going to be the challenger match we're doing today. It's going to be a best of 5, whereas the main match, which is of course something to look forward to, two I-48 competitors who did really well at the tournament are going to be going up against each other in a best of 7, or is it a best of 9?
It's a best of 9, which is awesome because we never actually got to saw them head to head, but it would have been such a good game, and I'm really excited about this because of course Johnny Rico and Baby Knight both won 2-1 against 4GG, knocking him out. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do against each other.
Yeah, me too. Let's see what these players have in mind for their build orders. For now, everything looking pretty standard for Highgain. Gonna drop that Nexus first. Gonna be building his forge at the usual 17/18 supply. And his build order looks pretty solid. He is scouting at the same time. The probe has taken a little bit of damage trying to delay the hatchery as long as possible. But Lindzo did manage to get that down in the end.
Now, the one thing for Highgain is, which I really want to highlight, is just the fact that he went for that Nexus first. Really important. Just means that economically he's going to be in a good spot. Cloud Kingdom's one of the maps you can get away with it because it's quite a long rush distance. Now Lindzo's really forced to take a quick third. He needs to get that about 4 minutes, 4 minutes 20, otherwise he will be economically behind. But the follow-up is a lot different now in Heart of the Swarm. And I don't know, do you reckon Highgain is going to go for that quick third, or do you reckon he's going to stay on 2 base longer, go for some kind of pressure play?
I think he's going to go for some kind of pressure play. The meta game in PvZ, at least what I'm encountering on the ladder and seeing on the streams, is a lot of Stargate openers. You know, one gate into Stargate, into another 2 or 3 gateways, into a robo, into a third base, is something that seems really popular right now. The 3 gateways allow you to put on some pressure. You know, your Oracle's going to be harassing. You can send in a few Zealots, send in a few Stalkers, force the Zerg to make a lot of units, and in the back, get your robo, get an Immortal, maybe a few Observers, and get ready to defend your third base.
Which is all very good strategic thinking. So I'd agree with you completely. I think some early pressure from 2 bases is quite likely, but generally speaking, these two just seem to be very passive at the moment. There's only 2 Lings out on the field, and they haven't even gone and poked too much. If we take a look at where they are for the time being, there's one sitting at each watchtower, which is different to a lot of Zergs you'll see will stick them straight outside of the natural just to take a good look at what's going on. But of course, the Overlord does a fairly good job of giving you that vision. But the other Overlord is just sitting, waiting to go into the main base of Highgain to find out precisely what he's got planned. But just an early Mothership core for the time being.
Yeah, very standard opener here. We're probably going to see that Zealot, Stalker poke, or maybe just a Zealot and a Stalker as a third gas is being taken by Highgain. What is he going to invest his next 100 and slash 150 gas into? That's what we're really looking out for right now. What are these 2 Masters players from the UK going to be doing? This is really a match to showcase some of the potential talent that is being, being shown
pushed
in the
forward.
UK.
Yeah, being pushed forward, because we've got really good, after obviously the ESET UK Masters, we had some great play in the Bring Your Own Computer qualifier from a lot of really solid people, and it's really good. I like the way ESET are bringing up more people, but as we said, in terms of openings in this game, the Stargate is coming down, so that 1 gate Stargate play we're all so used to. Delayed slightly though due to getting the Mothership core out earlier. Some players do favour getting the Stargate before the core, just to really rush it out. So this allows the Zealot Stalker harassment to go down. 2 Queens there though, should be able to put an end to it with the Lings.
Yeah, a few Lings on the way. Actually, 8 Lings being produced, which is a lot, but the Mothership Core is, of course, a big threat. There are 2 Queens, like you said, Mandels, they are in position, but another Stalker is going to be joining up. This is actually very dangerous. Oh my god, that Queen is actually going to die. The second Queen might end up dying too, Mandels. This ain't good at all for Lindzo. He's going to lose 2 Queens right off the bat.
And of course, that's not just lack of damage, that's now, of course, lack of production as well. Those lava injects are so important. The Mothership Core can really now just take pot shots at any of these probes. Phoenix coming out behind this for Highgain, so he's not going for oracles or anything too committed like that. Just going for really map control, getting down the robotics facility, ready to keep going. But both Stalkers still alive. This is a good amount of damage done from what's essentially just a bit of early game poking.
Yeah, this could actually be game-ending pressure here by Highgain. He's got Phoenix on the way behind this. He's gonna follow this harass up big time. There's only one queen here, but luckily the Mothership Core is on low HP, so the queen might be able to finally work and get the Mothership Core, get the Stalker, and get this pressure done with.
Now, the big thing I want to point out is that Lindzo only had 51 drones to 45 probes. That is not a big advantage at this stage of the game. Usually, if that harassment hadn't been so successful, Lindzo would have only made a couple of lings, but now has 4 out after making, I believe it was 12 overall. So being forced to get the macro hatch down, going for the double melee upgrades, and the melee upgrades are also quite a surprising choice.
Yeah, so that basically means, hello, double melee upgrades. I'm gonna be playing Ling Muta. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yep.
There are 4 gases taken, not 6 gases though, which is a little bit weird. As we see, the Phoenix have now been revealed. They've been killing off Overlords, and it looks like Highgain is going to be playing a very macro-oriented game. It looks like he wants to take a third.
Yeah, which is fairly normal. It's a good time to take that third. But I just want to touch on this Ling Muta play, which we are expecting to see now. Really interesting choice, considering that Lindzo had already seen the Phoenix count.
Yeah, this is really weird. Oh my god, he's actually going to go into double Spire Mandals. What is happening here? Phoenix already on the field. Oh, we might see a Phoenix go down here. Oh, Highgain. Oh, he does.
Be very careful with that Phoenix.
That Phoenix,
was lucky.
No, that
was
Phoenix
indeed
was
a lucky
baiting hardcore.
So, what we've got now is just more Overlords getting taken out, so not too much damage being done, just being more frustrating than anything else. Small supply block, but actually it's going to be quite a big supply block at this rate, because there's no more Overlords in production yet.
Yep, 3 Overlords now in production, so that supply block should be over in just a little bit. Double Spire by Lindzo. He's really going to commit to the Muta play, and it's going to be very difficult to make that work. It's going to be near
especially when you've already
impossible.
got the Phoenix out. It's a really interesting decision. We did see Lindzo try to go in with a bit of pressure with some lings to the third, but was not successful. The first Colossus is already half done for Highgain, so just using these Phoenix to gain map dominance, teching really hard behind that, getting the upgrades out, and just making sure that he's in an okay spot. But Lindzo, he's going to be in some major problems when the Mutas just aren't going to be able to do very much against the Phoenix.
No, they're not. Those Mutas are going to hit the production tab, I would suppose. Wow, 17 drones coming up. I think he just used all his larvae to make drones. So we're going to have to wait a little bit until we see what he decides to do. He's getting double Zerg Flyer attack upgrades, and I really hope he's going to produce like 50% Mutas, 50% Corruptors. He really needs a lot of Corruptors to be able to deal with these Phoenix in a straight-up engagement.
Yeah, you've got to be getting those Corruptors out. The Zerglings are still trying to harass into the third base, but talking about the work count for a bit, Lindzo is at 77 drones to 55 probes, so economically in an okay spot. He's got his macro hatch down, got his 4th base on its way, so that's looking good. And there, just as we were hoping, Lindzo getting those 5 Corruptors out in addition, and that just means that he's going to be able to deal with these Phoenix better, deal with the Colossi a lot better. But with only lings on the ground, he's going to really struggle against just a gateway force.
Yeah, he is. The Phoenix were trying to get a few drones there, but the drone was just morphing into a Spore Crawler, so couldn't pick that one up anymore. We really need some beef to this army of Lindzo with just pure lings. Even though they're going to have good upgrades, it might just not be enough. You really need those Roaches or the Hydras or some, you know, some other units in there.
Well, the only other thing you can do at this sort of time, well, the timing's being missed now, but if you do get these upgrades and you stay on, say, for example, just a lot of heavily upgraded lings for a while, you can rush out Hive Tech and try and get some Ultras, but they have very limited windows of opportunity against Protoss, and we're already at the 13-minute 30 mark, and these Phoenix are just harassing so well. Highgain killed 15 workers this game already.
Yeah, if we take a quick look at the units lost tab, you can see 300 resources lost for Highgain versus 2.2k lost by Lindzo.
That
That's
is
insane.
pretty substantial. That is a big advantage in terms of how economical they're being in their engagements for the Protoss player, who's now taking his forward. Some Lings just trying to run through, but the Kalea having none of that. Upgrade-wise, 1-1 is done for both players. 2-2 is started or nearly finished for Lindzo, but not yet started for Highgain, who's getting his Templar Archives and Blink.
A big Ling run by trying to be, oh, he might get in actually. The warp in of the Zealots not on hold position, so these Lings are going to get into the main base. How much damage can he do? The third base under attack at the same time. Our Protoss player now in a lot of trouble. He was defending so well early on, but it doesn't look like the Lings are going to be able to kill either Nexi, and even the 4th base is going to stay up.
Yeah, this is a bit of a strange choice, trying to focus the Nexus, to be honest, as opposed to just dealing probe damage. Imagine if all of those Zerglings had just gone straight for the probes. The entire natural mineral line would have been decimated. The main would have taken significant damage. But Lindzo, he's playing the delaying game. He wants to get out more units. He's got a lot of Corruptors up at 14, and now getting 7 Mutalisks and the 2-2 air upgrades. So he's in a solid spot.
Yeah, he is. But I still wouldn't say his army composition is the best against what Highgain is doing. Oh, Lings, what are you doing on a very lonely adventure running into 3 Colossi? That's not really going to be working out. There's so many Corruptors on the field. That's an insane amount. The Colossi are going to be dying so quickly. Do we have enough Stalker support?
Well, the Stalkers, as we can see, are just moving back. They're trying their best to take out the Corruptors, but the Lings pressuring forward, being a bit of a risk, so gotta be careful on Highgain's part. But he only lost a single Colossus there, so... Oh, no, it's actually 2 in the end, so that's not a huge number. The Mutas are getting taken out of the natural, though, by that cannon, just sitting there, eating up the fire. Now the Phoenix come over as well. That is not what you want to be seeing. The Mutas all getting taken out, and this is why, generally speaking, going Mutalisks against Phoenix is not the best decision.
To say the least. More Zerglings going to be running into the 3rd Manos, trying to do some more probe damage. Not that many workers killed yet, but we really see Linzo's trying to find openings into the Protoss armor. Ooh, the Phoenix flying into the Corruptors in the middle of the map. All the Phoenix are going to be dying off here. This is really good for Lindzo, getting some free units there.
Yeah, that was obviously Highgain with his attention elsewhere. There was Ling Rumbais into the 4th and 3rd base, so he had to deal with those. We do have the 5th up now for Lindzo as well, but double Stargates coming out by Highgain. He's transitioning into Skytoss. Hive only just getting started now for Lindzo, which is quite a late Hive, but he does have the double 2-2 air upgrades nearly complete. That's going to give him a nice situation to be in, but if Skytoss gets fully up and running, you're going to be in a lot of problems no matter where you are as Zerg.
Let's see how this fight is going to turn out in the middle of the map. There are a lot of Zerglings there. A few Zealots are going to try to harass the base on the left side. There's no Spinecrawlers yet, so those Zealots might do a lot of damage. There's a lot of observers all around the map too, Metals, so our Protoss players get some really good vision.
Yeah, we've also got a big Ling Rumbais to the 4th base of Highgain. This is an awful lot of Zerglings, and even though there's a couple of cannons there, yet again the Nexus choosing to get focused. The 3rd also taking some good damage, but Highgain, he's pushing in towards the 4th of Lindzo at the same time. Yeah,
he knows Lindzo cannot take his army straight up right now. He just sacrificed about 60 to 80 Lings to attack his 3rd and 4th base, so he knows he can take this base out pretty safely and securely. 11 Mutalisks on the way, but there are High Templars in this army composition, and they do have Storms, so the Mutas are going to have to be very careful in engaging this big Protoss death ball.
Well, there's Stalkers, there's Phoenix, there's High Templar. Generally speaking, that is not what you want to be up against with Mutalisks. They are just going to go straight in, though, trying to take out the cannons very quickly. A phone overcharge issues. The blink forward by the Stalkers, desperate to try and save this Nexus. It's going to be pretty close. Lindzo should be able to get in, and indeed he does. So that was a good little snipe off for Lindzo there, and really leveled things out. He's a bit behind in the work count, but now a mining base, or 2 mining bases up.
A bit of a waste there, by the way. Using the Time Warp, of course, does not work on air units, so throwing that down might have saved him, cost him a little bit more energy than it should have.
Oh, we got Ling Rumbais into the 3rd. This is doing, well, again, trying to focus down the Nexus. Not going to be able to get it, but it's going to be quite frustrating. Meanwhile, Highgain did manage to take out the 4th base of Lindzo. He's attacking the 5th with his main army, and this is just multi-pronged harassment to the max.
Yeah, both players trying to avoid confrontation and just kill the bases. Here come the Mutalisks. They will be able to get that 3rd base, and man, bases are dying all around the map. And we might be going into a bit of a base trade scenario. There are some Phoenix here, but only 4 or 5 of them, and that's a lot of Mutalisks.
Yeah, 4 or 5 Phoenix can win the engagement, unless, of course, they sit still. You have to micro them like mad against Mutalisks, because if they both engage in just A moves, the Mutas win. But now the Mutas coming back, trying to take out some of this main Protoss army, which is just pushing forward. It's a 3-base Zerg up against a 2-base, soon-to-be 3-base Protoss.
Oh, those Storms could have been cast, but they weren't. Highgain being very careful, does not want to miss his Storms, because he is not mining a lot. He has to be very careful with all the resources that he has right now. Here comes the engagement by Lindzo, or is it not some Storms? Making sure the Mutas have to retreat and cannot right away engage his army. Broodlords now being morphed in the middle of the map too. What a crazy game.
Yeah, those Broodlords are actually going to be really quite helpful, because the Stalk count, while it's up at 32, if Broodlords are used effectively with the Mutalisks, can deal with those quite nicely. And ultimately, neither player has a great economy at the moment. They're both mining about 700-800 minerals a minute and just about 450 gas a minute, so not what you'd expect at the 21-minute mark.
No, this is not This is not what you would expect in a game at all. This game is so crazy right now. Linzo's actually having a bit of the upper hand right now. He is attacking into the third base of Highgain. Has been able to take that out, of course, taking out probes, taking out pylons. And if we take a look at the probe count, there's still 41 probes. So Highgain can go ahead and take his third base again. But it's going to be very difficult. Nice blink forward here. He's going to get a few corruptors for free. Those Phoenix have to be oh so careful. Those corruptors, still 6 of them out. If they turn around, it's going to be difficult to deal with them.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult to deal with. The Phoenix are flying in, but the one plus side for Highgain is he's got the base at the top left, which is unbeknown to Lindzo. That's really going to be a saving grace for him. In terms of workers killed this game, Lindzo 48, Highgain 33. The Broodlords, though, a great blink underneath them. They are exposed, and I think that might just actually cost Lindzo the game.
Oh, that was a little bit of mispositioning. The mutas were going back, but there's still a lot of mutas alive, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's still about 20 left. There's few Phoenix still flying around. Guardian Shield, of course, up, but not a lot of units in the Guardian Shield area, but it is going to be enough to push Lindzo back. Lindzo now only mining out of one base, and his newly established base is probably going to be going down immediately, Maddles.
Yeah, straight away that Protoss army comes straight over. But Lindzo, if he knew about that top left base, maybe he could have done something about it. But Highgain, he has just got a really, really nice Deathball army supply. Is 60, or rather 60 for Lindzo to 96 of Highgain. So Highgain's got a much stronger army, a lot of Stalkers, the right composition to really deal with this. And also that Archon, which will help quite considerably with the Storms as well.
We got one Broodlord on the field, another Broodlord morphing in at the 4th base location. That base wasn't even cancelled, so another 300 minerals lost there for Lindzo.
Oh, the High Templar!
They
were on their own, but luckily a very, very quick reaction out of Highgain there, morphing them into Archons. That could have been really pretty disastrous. And finally, this top left base will get spotted.
Yeah, the top left base is going to be under attack right now. The Stalkers do blink over there trying to get there in time to save it, but that's going to be very difficult. Highgain is out of position a little bit. He might end up losing his 2 mining bases again.
Yeah, this is the sort of situation where both of these two are very, very low economically. They've got under 500 minerals being mined each a minute, and even though the Storms are getting some good hits there, the Mutas are getting out alive, and with their new health regeneration, as long as they don't die, they will be back, and the flock will just keep increasing in size.
Yeah, they're going to be regenning already. As some Zerglings trying to go into the 3rd base. Looks like Highgain has finally established himself at 3rd base. Whereas Lindzo, he doesn't have any minerals anymore. He doesn't even have the minerals to start a hatchery, I don't think. No, he's got so low resources.
It is incredibly low resources at the moment, but these two, they're both broke. That's what it comes down to, is in the head-up engagement, who's going to win. And the cold hard truth is Highgain 110 army supply to just 47 of Lindzo.
Oh, actually, he is spending it. I was gonna say, oh my god, he's saving up his money to build a new hatchery, but no, he's not. He's actually investing every single mineral that he gets into more Mutalisks, and this could be the death push here for Highgain. He might be able to close out the game. Look at that drone train. That looks so neat.
That is, they're forming an orderly queue. Very British of them, I must say.
Yeah, that's what the British people spend doing like 10% of their lives, right? Like standing in queues.
Yeah, we're good at queuing and writing angry letters. That's the 2 things we'll be known as throughout history. But, of course, what Highgain is going to be known as is the Drone Slayer, because he is killing absolutely everything here as they run over to long distance mine. The Archon's getting some good shots off the splash damage. Disastrous. And I think now this is going to be it.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be it for Lindzo. He has 1 or 2 Broodlords, I believe. Only 1 left out on the field. It doesn't have any kills yet. It has really good upgrades. But you really need to have at least 5, 6, 7 Broodlords to make it a scary thing for a Protoss. 1, 2, 3 Broodlords? That's not scary at all.
No, it's so easy to snipe them off with just a good blink underneath. The Mutalisks are going to go for the push into the 3rd, but a good number of Stalkers. Plus the Archon there just means damage will be pretty catastrophic. So Lindzo, he has got less than no money. He's got literally 40 minerals. He can't make a drone, which is always bad times. He's got a decent amount of gas, but these Stalkers, they're trying to poke and prod anywhere they can, but Highgain just trying to secure that 4th base.
Stalker's taking out some creep tumors right now. Very important this phase of the game. No, not really, because there's only Mutalisks left out on the field. The Mutas are going to engage the Stalker ball here. The Archon was out of position, so that was actually a really good trade there for Lindzo. But that 4th base is getting really close to finishing, and when it finishes, the income advantage for Highgain is going to be even more immense than it already is.
Well, currently Lindzo is mining no minerals at all. That's a pretty bad spot, and well, there goes the GG.